What's going on, fellas? It is 7 o'clock. I crushed my 5:20 a.m. wake up. I've been waking up at 5:30. I woke up at 5:20 this morning instead. And we're going to be consistent with that. I'm just gradually bringing it back. This week has been really hard on me because of the just pressure of being the person that I want to be to have. Like I'm becoming this person that I need to be. I'm becoming the person that I want to be. And it is not an easy life for the men that actually want it, the men that actually have a goal in mind and they actually have aspirations for their life, because it is a struggle when you have to become that person and you don't have the things that you want yet. And that's why so many people are in that, have, be, do. If I have it, I'll do it and then I'll become it. And it just doesn't work that way. You've got to become the person first. And so, me waking up every single morning, that's not what makes me successful. But the person that I envision in the future, that's the guy that I want to be. When I see myself retiring my parents, when I see myself being a high value man, when I see myself being the dad that my kids can look up to and be like, I want to be like him. I don't want to be the guy that takes my kids out and I have to have a couple beers and my wife has to have a glass of wine, and that's what my kids grow up seeing, right? I grew up seeing my dad do drugs, right? So what did I do? And it's still an internal decision. It's still your fault. But it was still my fault for letting myself start to smoke weed. And I loved it. And I smoked. I smoked from sun up to sundown. And, that was obviously a vice that held me back from the person that I wanted to become. So when I, saw myself as a bigger person, when I saw myself as this Michael in the future wasn't smoking weed. So it became a very clear decision to me, and it just became a reality. You're not going to smoke weed anymore. You're not going to party anymore. You're not going to allow people in your life that take you down a rabbit hole. You're a product of your environment, and the people that are around you are the people that kind of decide what you do. And that's for the mentality of what I used to have. The people that I was around is what I became like. It's that visual of you put a piece of moldy bread into a loaf of fresh bread. That loaf of bread's going to get moldy really quick. So who was I around? What were they doing? And were they up to my standard? Yeah, they were on my standard, because that's why I was still doing those things. And it wasn't until I increased my standard. It wasn't until I became the man that I wanted to become. That's when my standards increased, and that's when the people around me weren't there any longer. Right? Not because I'm some egotistical, I'm better than you, but that's just how it works. That's just how it happens. When you find yourself stuck, when you find yourself in that spot where you're just like, I can't figure this out. I just feel like I'm stuck. I just feel like I can't do anything right. I feel like I have no desires. I feel like I have no passion. I'm just going to sit here and stay fat and keep doing my vices. Look at your environment. What are you allowing yourself to be around? What standard are you holding yourself to? I've been so stressed out this week. It is, I will always say this, it is the stress. Stress primarily comes from the work you're not doing. So anytime I feel stressed, it's because there is something that I am not doing. There is something that I had to do that day that I hadn't gotten done yet. And that is what will push me. That is what will push you, is that when you have a goal, when you have a person that you need to become, you will do the things that are required. I used to sit down every day and watch Netflix at lunch. scroll on my phone when I made breakfast, watch TV when I ate dinner. Now, if I sit down for 5 minutes, I'm itching. I get agitated. I get antsy. I get pissy because I've got things to fucking do. And if I looked at myself and said, okay, when I'm sitting here watching Netflix, when I'm sitting here like a 15-year-old degenerate watching porn, when I'm sitting here scrounging through the covers, scrounging through the cracks of my couch, looking for my vape, if there was multiple versions of me, where would you be? If there was multiple versions of you, where would you be? Would you be the world's, biggest TikTok consumer? Or would you be stronger? Would you be better? Would you be healthier? Would you be better looking? Would your family be more taken care of than they already are? Would you be providing more? Would your wife be happier? Would your kids have a better example? If you're doing the things that I just listed, no. I want my kids to be able to look at a dad and be like, wow, I want to be like him. I want to be like him. I want my wife to be able to not just look at me at the, mere age of my 20s when my physique is good and I'm lean and I've got that young face and, I'm still a stud. And then when I turn 30, I just get fat and I have my cold beer every day. Right? Then you're just stuck. Right? And then what happens is that sometimes if you are the actual leader of that relationship, she's going to fall into that same path. And then both of you get comfortable. And internally, neither of you want to face the fact. You don't want to face the fact. She doesn't want to face the fact. This is just an example, but you don't want to face the fact that you could be better. You don't want to face the fact that you used to look good and now you don't. You don't want to face the fact that you used to have a strive, you used to have dreams, you used to have ambitions, you used to be a young guy, you used to be 20 years old, you used to be 25 and you wanted to start that business. You used to be 20 years old and you wanted to get in better shape. And then you stopped and then you got comfortable. I cannot allow myself to be there because that's why I've got to become that guy now. Because if I want that life, right, not everyone's into materialistic things, and that's okay. But if I want to have a nice car, if I want to have a nice watch, if I want to have a nice home, I've got to become the person now when I have the energy, right? This will piss a lot of people off, but 8 hours of sleep is something I just simply don't deserve yet. I don't. And that's what I used to tell myself. Oh, well, if I have 8 hours of sleep, it'll benefit my recovery more. No. I mean, yes. I mean, sleep does obviously help with your recovery. But not for me right now, because I'm not where I want to be. And maybe I'll allow myself to do that once I've gotten there, but I'm not there. So there's no way in hell that I'm going to allow myself to have 8 hours of sleep when the other 16 hours, I'm not even doing the shit that needs to get done. So I got to get my ass up in the morning. Whether I work on this stuff, whether I work on edits, whether I work on coaching programs till 2 o'clock in the morning, or I'm able to wind myself down. There's never any winding down. I just work so fucking hard throughout the day that when I get to the end of the night, there's no way that my head hits that pillow and I'm awake after 2 minutes. I'm out like a light. Whereas I used to stay in bed and I'd be like, shoot, man, I just can't go to sleep. So let me turn the TV on and then watch 30 minutes, 45 minutes of TV until I fall asleep. Or let me just scroll over and roll on my phone. Scroll until I get tired, until I go to sleep. No, I don't do that anymore. Not because I'm better, not because I still don't want to, not because I still don't have that temptation. But again, we are creatures of habit. Right? So if I make my habits being as productive and as busy as possible day in and day out, every second of every day, then I can eliminate that struggle in the evening to want to waste time on my phone, waste time watching TV, because I've worked my ass off and I have progressively worked every hour of that day towards my goals so that in the evening, I'm so fucking tired that the struggles that I have now is like, dude, I just need to stay up a little bit longer so I can finish this and then I can go to bed. That's my struggles now. But it wasn't, because there was a change. Something had to change up here. Fucking throat, bro. Something had to change up here. And it's what you aspire to be. You know, people will ask me, like, you know, how do you be more accountable? How do you not fall into old habits? How do you not, you know, how do you stay consistent? You stay consistent, you break out of old habits by replacing them with the habits that need to be done every day to get closer to those goals. I had to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? Why do I want to do it? Okay, this is what I want to do. I want to change people's lives for a living. What do I have to do to be the successful version of that? And that's when it clicked for me. That's when things shifted for me. When I knew, okay, I'm going in on this. I'm going to do this to change people's lives. I don't care what anyone else thinks, because in reality, the people that look at my videos, the people that find this corny, the people that find this funny, I find that funny that you find that funny, because that's an insecurity, right? When people would tell me the shit that I didn't want to hear and I got defensive, you know why I got defensive? Because it was an internal insecurity that I didn't want to face yet. I didn't want to face the fact that they were right and they were doing something that I wasn't willing to do. I didn't want to face the fact that they were willing to put in the work that I knew that I could be doing. I didn't want to face the fact that they were the ones that had dreams and had aspirations, that they were maybe younger than me. And it might piss some of you off that I'm only 20 years old and that I'm figuring this stuff out. But it's because I have a dream. And I don't like saying a dream, but there is a man that is underneath this skin. There is a man that is underneath this mind that I have got to transform. You know what I mean? I fucking hate snakes, but like snakes, they get new skin. You know what I mean? You know, they shed that old skin off. You got to shed that old skin off, bro. Because if you want something to change, something has got to change. And I cannot say that any more clearly. When I am frustrated with where I'm at, when my standards are continually increasing, right? And as my standards increase, you know, I'm in a position right now that I would have looked back a year ago and been like, man, you know, I want to be like that. And sometimes I even saying this, but sometimes I do need to sit back and be grateful for the man that I've become. But because my standards are so everly increasing, I can't, it burns me when I'm not being the highest version of myself day in and day out. I can't take that. And it really gets to me. It does. Severely, it will mess with my brain when I'm not doing what I need to be doing. You and everyone else around you, everyone in this world, you all have habits. You're all consistent with something. I'm consistent with the things that I know I have to do. Because, you know, how selfish would I be to sit there and be like, well, you know I've got people counting on me. I know I have a future family to provide for. I know I have kids to look up to me. But yet I'm going to sit here and I'm going to waste my time with vices that just take me 2 steps back and not 1 step forward. How selfish would I be to not take the God-given talent that God has given me? Now, that talent hasn't always, it has always been there, but there is a quote that I wrote in Advanced English 11. by Horace. And it says, adversity has the effect of eliciting talents that in prosperous circumstances would have lain dormant. Adversity, the things that come your way, the negativity that you need to push yourself and become a better person, because comfort is my enemy and pain is my joy. Adversity has the effect of eliciting, bringing out, okay? So the negativity that comes my way has the effect of bringing out the talents that in prosperous times, prosperous being the good times, the comforting times would have lain dormant, right? There are kids that have so much talent and so much ability, but because they're so spoiled rotten, or because they're so comfortable with the vices that are controlling them and the vices that are keeping them as boys, and a boy isn't under the age of 18. There are men at 18, there are boys at 18. There are men at 35 and there are boys at 35. But the negativity and the things that come your way is a necessity. It is a necessity for success. Because when you allow yourself to stay in the comfortable times, those talents, they lay dormant. They lay under the sheets and they never come out. That rubber band never gets stretched. Adversity, negativity will bring out the man in you that in the times where you were comfortable would have never came out. That's the Michael Young translation. And that's such a powerful quote, bro. It's so powerful. It really is. And I remember writing that essay about it. I remember writing that essay, and just even at that age of like 17 years old, I'm just like, man, dude, where's that adversity? And unfortunately, I wasn't in the position to really put myself in that adversity. My grandparents raised me, and they, up until the day I turned 18, I was never allowed to go hang out with friends. I was never allowed to, hang out with a chick or have a girlfriend, which I'm not saying which would have been a good thing, but I was never allowed to go to a basketball game. I was never allowed to go to football games. I was never allowed to have a phone. They hated me working out. You know what I mean? I asked for one Christmas. The only thing I wanted was a set of 30s and a set of 15s, because they didn't let me go to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, I had to sneak going to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, they thought, creatine was this awful thing. They thought that me working out was just me being so full of pride, and all I did was care about myself. And so I begged them to the point where they allowed me, and they were super, I love my grandparents with all of me, and everything that they did was because they thought they were doing right. But, they would I was never allowed to even shut my door. I couldn't even have my own privacy. Right? Because they thought that I was just I don't know what they thought I was gonna do, but they always thought that we were just these evil little hellions that were always gonna do something wrong. And so I was allowed 1 hour on the dot. And if I went past that hour, they'd be knocking on my door. It's time to finish up. And so I had 1 hour, and I had a desk chair with a set of 30s and a set of 15s. And that's what I built the base of my physique off of. But, that was that little bit of negativity. You know what I mean? And that pushed me to be confident enough to go to them without being, scared like I typically was to ask them something, to be like, hey, this is what I want to do. And when I would come out of that room, and honestly, it would make me feel good. I'd be wearing like a tight t-shirt, and I would come out and they would be like, you look disgusting. My mom would be like, you look disgusting. I wasn't even big, bro. Like, I was small, but I just came out with a bump. You know what I mean? Like, you look disgusting. And it's like, bro, I appreciate that, but I'm trying to better myself. Right? And that was that little bit of negativity. All right, there we go. My fault, guys. It's like only goes up to 20 minutes and nothing I can do about that. Anyways, I do these until I run out of thoughts, and I haven't ran out of thoughts yet. So regardless, what happens is that with my grandparents, I was talking about, that little bit of negativity. The point in all that is that from that quote, adversity has the effect of eliciting talents that in prosperous times would have lain dormant. Put yourself in the uncomfortable times. Put yourself in the times that suck. Put yourself in the times that you don't want to be, and remind yourself, convince yourself that comfort is my pain and joy is my enemy. Every single morning when the first thing I do is do my cold shower, I have to stare at that waterfall. Comfort is my pain and joy is my enemy, and I have to step into that, and I have to believe that. You've got to believe that it's there. You got to believe that you're a better person. You got to believe that every little thing, even though, is that cold shower going to make me $1 million? Absolutely fucking not. But is doing it day in and day out, being the first thing I do, getting a small win every single morning, is that what's going to help? Is that the journey that's going to get me there? You damn fucking right it is, right? Because I'm not going to stop. I will not stop. And every single day I'm going to continually add, right? People are going to see this for the first time and be like, oh my gosh, he woke up at 5:20, right? Do you think it started off that way? No, it started off with me partying and then, waking up after sleeping for fucking however long. And I woke up and I was like, man, I'm so happy I did everything last night. I paid the bouncer $40 extra because he didn't know me. And man, it was a good time. I paid $200 for a table and didn't even take a girl home. All we did was stand in the corner and point and get drunk. Like, right? Is that what makes you happy? Bro, like, dude, think about these things, dude. Like, what are you doing? Are you putting yourself in comfortable situations and getting worse? Or are you putting yourself in difficult situations and getting better? Tell me when there has been one point in your life, unless you let it control you, unless you went down on a bad path, where something negative came your way and good didn't come out of it. You didn't get better out of it. And for those of you that are willing to digest this information and to take it in, those are the guys that I'm talking to right now. Because for those of you that use the excuses in life of things that get thrown your way, and you use that excuse to do your vice or to not be a better man. I have people that talk, like peers, acquaintances, even family, that will justify why they drink this or why it's okay for them to do this, whatever vice that may be. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, seriously, okay, I got you. What does that tell me? That they're just lost. They're just as lost as I was. And it's going to take you a good little bit to get out of that, because you're if you get defensive every time a motherfucker tells you something that you know you need to hear, you're just lost, bro. You're stuck. You're just stuck. You're stuck. I was stuck, bro. I get pissed off when people will tell me, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. And I knew damn well I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. When I was smoking weed, I got a buddy in sales, and absolute killer, 19 years old, absolute beast, dude. I mean, just like, he's a beast, bro. But he would tell me all the time, bro, and so much respect for the kid. The kid doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do nicotine, nothing. He's just got a severely bad addiction to Celsius. But he used to tell me all the time, bro, like, stop smoking, bro. You gotta stop smoking. And I would just be like, yeah, man, I know. I know. How many times have you said that, bro? I know you've said that. I know, man. I know I need to stop. Whatever fucking excuses that I wanted to give myself. And that pisses me off when I sit there and I look back at that and I'm like, that's how I used to be. That was the Michael bro, it just pisses me off that I would fill myself with excuses, and I would sit there and try to justify it. It'd be like, oh well, I'm stressed and it helps me calm down. Bro, I'm more stressed when I'm not doing the work that I need to be doing. That's what stresses me out now, because I'm actually doing what I need to be doing. When I was smoking weed, I wasn't doing what I needed to be doing, because that vice was holding me back from the person that I was meant to be, from the person that I wanted to be. And it wasn't until, and I'll say this over and over and over, until I flipped that switch in me and I decided that I have bigger dreams and I have bigger aspirations for my life. And I was like, okay, how do I get there? It's not by someone coming by and wiping my ass. It's not going to be by some connection that just hands it all to me. No, I've got to start becoming that person now, when I have the energy now. Because, going day after day after day with 4 hours of sleep, you can't do that when you're 30, 40 years old. I mean, you can, but it's a lot harder on your body. I'm 20 years old. I'm going to take the energy now that I would have been spending on rallying from Wednesday to Thursday to Friday to Saturday. That takes a lot of energy to get hammered and wake up and again, and hammered and wake up and again, and hammered and wake up and again. And now I'm spending more days destroying my life with partying than I am with building my life. And then some of you still come to me and ask, how do I get better? How do I lose weight? How do I be consistent? And then we talk about what the fuck you're doing, and you're still drinking 4 times a week. You're still smoking every night. You're still eating a bag of Cheetos and playing Fortnite every single damn day, bro. You can't do that. And you know it. You know that you can't do that. And that's why you come to me, and that's why you ask me what I need to do, because you're just hoping that someone will tell you that it's okay for you to do that and you can still change. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, bro. It doesn't work that way. And it never will. It never will work that way. Anytime I tell myself, anytime I'm in that bedroom, or anytime I'm on the computer, anytime I'm doing anything, I mean, I'm always been productive, but anytime I'm like, dude, like I just don't, there's just that split second, I don't want to do this. And it's like, do you really want to change? Because if you did, you'll stop doing what you're doing. You'll stop doing what you're doing. You'll make a change if you want change. But that's my thoughts for the week, guys. I pray y'all crush it. Pray y'all kill it this week. Y'all stay in the word. Keep your mind on the word. Just read a chapter a day, a scripture a day, whatever it may be. And just in a world full of degenerates, be the outstander. Be the 1%. Become something from nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing, because again, like I really came from nothing, from absolutely nowhere, bro. And I'm on my journey to becoming something. And every single one of you that follow me, to my 30 subscribers, thank you. Genuinely. Thank you for watching to this point. Thank you for dealing with my camera that didn't want to focus in the first 20 minutes. Thank you. If you get something out of this and you apply it to your life, please tell me. But even if you don't, that's what I have to tell myself. And for the people that do, that's what drives me. But that's what I got to tell myself, is that there is somebody listening to this. There is somebody that actually has it deep inside of them. All of you do, actually. But none of you that actually have it would be at this point of this video. If you actually have it, and you actually want to be that highest form of yourself, I applaud you for sitting here and watching this video and hearing my thoughts and taking the lessons that I've learned and realizing that what I'm saying has truth to it. It's all true, actually. But everyone's at different points in life, and the things that have resonated with me and where I'm at in life, some of you are there, some of you aren't. And as time goes on, you might come back and watch this video and it might resonate with you more. With you more. But anyways, guys, I love y'all. Connect with me on Instagram. You get to see this daily. You'll see my 5:20 a.m. wake up day in and day out. I'll never miss a day for you guys. I'll never miss a day for myself. And if you want to like seriously get to the point where you want to change your life, DM me on Instagram and we'll get on a call and, you know, go about changing your life. Please don't send me anything stupid. Serious inquiries only, okay? I'm not some bullshitter. I'm not some, here's a program, you know. I'm gonna push you like a motherfucker, and I'm oh God, hey, you know what I mean? Like, be ready. That's all I'll say. Be ready. Love y'all, guys. Kill it.